okay, according to the past analysis, the new technological advancement, so such as the digital technologies such as artificial intelligence, they may offer a great business opportunities according to the SWOT analysis. One of the opportunities the company may try to capture is the external environment of advancement of the digital technologies. Okay, so we are now focusing on those business opportunities from the digital technologies. The explosive development of the digital technologies would create new business opportunities. Let's have a look at the interesting numbers. It is remarked on the left-hand side slide of this page. It is remarkable that how fast we are adopting new digital technologies nowadays. Okay, to have 150 million users. So 150 million users mean a lot of people are using those devices. So what are those devices that a lot of people, like 100 billion users, may use? Okay, in case of the telephone, it took 89 years since 1876 to have 150 million users. Okay, so it took almost 100 years to have a lot of users in telephone. But in case of the television, it takes only 38 years since 1928 to have the user number of 150 millions. So in case of the TV, it took shorter time than the case of the telephone in reaching the number of users of 150 millions. But interestingly, in terms of the mobile phones, it took only 14 years. So it takes far shorter time than the TV or the telephones in reaching the number of users of 150 millions. And nowadays, lots of software and smart devices, it takes less than a year to reach 150 million users. So according to the advancement of the digital technologies, it's really remarkable that adopting new digital technologies are faster and faster. So that implies that new opportunities in the businesses, leveraging the digital technologies in computing, software, connectivity, data, etc. So if you are running a business leveraging the digital technologies in computing, software, connectivity, and data, that will open big new opportunities, because nowadays in a lot of areas, in less than a year, you may have 150 million users. And at the same time, that could be a threat to the existing players. If anybody, the potential competitor of your business may emerge from nowhere, leveraging the digital technologies and computing, software, connectivity, and data, and to capture 150 million users from your company. And that could be a significant threat to the business of yours. So explosive development of the digital technologies, as we have seen in the case of the telephone, TV, mobile phone, and lots of the software and smart devices, that may create new business opportunities, and at the same time they may create a new business threats as well. So far, I have emphasized that I introduced the concept of the digital transformation, and I emphasized that why digital transformation is important to most of the companies nowadays. And now let's talk about what are some of the myths and truths in taking taking steps in the pursuit of digital transformations. In the pursuit of the digital transformation, the big companies are even making mistakes. And those are the typical mistakes and the realities and truth. Let's have a look at it. Okay. Some of the misses. Miss number one, change everything. A lot of companies who are pursuing the digital transformations are changing everything. That means they create new department for the digital transformation, and they hire new staff for the digital transformations. Okay, digital transformation may affect fundamentally to the whole process of creating the values to the customers, but in the pursuit of digital transformation, it's not desirable to change everything. So hiring a lot of people to your organization and creating a lot of new departments in your company. In reality, when you pursue the digital transformation, it's better for you to change the existing step to have core competencies for a new era. So instead of the hiring new step, it's better for you to educate and train the existing step. The core skills for the digital transformations. Okay. You are now familiar with the core competence, the term of the core competencies. Core competencies for new era might be different from those from the old eras. For the new era, the core competencies might be mastering the state-of-the-art technological things like AIs and big data. And also there are some other core competencies important in the digital transformations. Flexibilities to the changing environment, or resilience, recovering from the failures. Those are particularly important in the era of the digital economy. So it's better for you to educate and train the existing staff of your company to have the such core capabilities for a new era as creativity, resilience, flexibility, and core skills in the digital economies like AI, artificial intelligence, and big data analysis and things like that. And the second mistakes the companies are typically making in the pursuit of the digital transformation is manufacturing new digital products. Okay. The better way of adopting the digital transformation in your company is that to find opportunities in how to leverage platform businesses. So instead of making a new product, let's try to find opportunities in leveraging the platform businesses. You may create your own platform, online platform, for open to other parties, or you can simply leverage the existing platform created by somebody else. So in order to minimize your resource investment, it's better to leverage the existing platform businesses and try to find the opportunities there. And number three, in pursuing the digital transformation, the typical mistakes the big companies are making is that pursuing the digital transformation to himself. So they are taking the initiatives and they try to develop everything required in the digital transformation inside their company. So even for the big companies, it takes lots of the resources investment. And at the same time, under the uncertain business environment where the surprise is the new normal, and it's too risky to pursue everything to yourself. So instead of doing everything inside your company by yourself, it's better to cooperate with outside partners in building the business ecosystems. So if you have a core competency in any of the activities in creating the values, you may focus on those areas. And if you do not have any required competencies, but that's not the critical in your business, and then you can simply import those capabilities in cooperation with outside partners who have such competencies. So instead of just thinking everything by yourself, just think about what you can do better, and then how to supplement the deficiencies from the entire business ecosystems view. Okay. Number four, the mistakes the big companies are typically making is sticking to the existing business model. Okay, but in reality, it's better to adopt an innovative business model. So there's a new concept of the business model. What is business model? I will talk a little bit about the business model and the elements of the business model in my last class of the series of the building the business strategy. So I may save the topic of the business model to the next class, which is the last class of my classes in the business strategy. But if I just say a little bit about the business model is is the structure or the rationale, how the company is creating, capturing, and delivering the value to the customers. And according to the Alex Oswald, there are 9 different elements composed of the entire business model. Okay. Nowadays, the products, services, technologies are important, but more importantly, business model is more important than the service or technology. That means that even though you may have the identical products or services, you may have different business models, and if you make any innovation in the business model, and you can make a huge the potential to create the values. So in the pursuit of the digital transformation, instead of just sticking to the existing business model, try to adopt an innovative business model which may bring a lot of the potential to create values to the customers. So finally, the one of the mistakes the companies are typically making in the pursuit of the digital transformation is overlooking the importance of the human resources. So, but as I have emphasized in my previous slides, digital transformation is also a cultural change. Okay, so organizational transformation is more important than adopting the relevant technologies in digital transformation. So that's why instead of hiring new staff in new department in your company, it's better to train and educate the existing staff to have the digital mindset. So in that sense, organizational transformation is more important than adopting the technologies in the digital transformation. Okay, so think about those 5 myths. Think about those 5 mistakes the companies are typically making, and try to pursue the digital transformation in the right ways, taking into consideration of those 5 important things under the boxes on your on the right hand side of this slide.